Yeah, morning, guys, gals. Just a quick catch up this morning. So I haven't done a video for ages, and this is sort of what I do uh, these days to keep myself occupied and that. So just a quick catch up about what's been going on with me. That's what this one will be this morning. And first of all, I want to say hi to one of my really good friends that I hadn't seen. I haven't seen him for 10 years. My mate Wayne Collins. I know a lot of you in Sutton will remember Wayne, one of the chaps from back in the day. And as you know, yeah, he used to live around Benhill in Sutton there. And I was in Sutton the other week visiting my parents, and I was in Sutton High Street, and I see Wayne, and yeah, he looked really well, and I was really pleased to see him because I hadn't seen him for 10 years, and we were really close friends, me and Wayne, and I've got loads of stories of me, Wayne, Pete Marsh from back in the 80s and 90s, you know, all those mad, crazy stories, drugs, fighting, crime, all that sort of stuff. And he has given me permission to do some stories with him in it, so that's always good because, as you know, I don't mention other people's names unless I've spoken to them and they've said it's okay to do so. Because as you know, I don't run people down in my videos. I only have good things to say about my friends, and that's how I like it, and that's the way it's always been. I'm not into running people down on here and all that. You know, I've seen a lot of that on YouTube. Everyone running each other down, and that's not my scene. Yeah, because you got to remember this stuff stays on here forever. That's what I like, sticking to factual stuff. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that was great catching up with Wayne, and like I say, I haven't been doing much YouTube, so that'll give me plenty of content to keep going on the channel with. But yeah, recently what I've been up to, my medication, yeah, so like I say, I'm down at 50 mil, and I'm not really noticing it, to be honest with you, yet. That's obviously still to come, but what they're trying, they want me to go on this stuff called Buvidal, apparently, which is a 1 monthly injection. It's some sort of Subutex stuff. It's meant to be quite new, and basically you go to the clinic once a month and they inject you with this, and then it's like a time release, and yeah, and then you come off from there. You know, I have switched to Subutex before, and you know, I've been on Subutex a few times, but like I say, if I do go onto it, it will just be from 30 mil of meth onto the Buvidal, the Subutex thing, and then straight off. I wouldn't be staying on it. It's either that, or they said I can go to a detox or rehab even, you know. Might have to think about rehab just to get relocated, because I've ended up down here now in Portsmouth, and I can't seem to get out of here. People, I did have a swap lined up to swap my flat with someone in South London in Pollard's Hill there, Mitcham, but they pulled out. So, you know, that's the third person that's pulled out of moving into this place. I don't know why. There's nothing wrong with the place. It's nice and quiet down here. You know, I thought people might want it for the area. That's what you usually move for, I think, in these sort of places. So yeah, I'm carrying on with that. Something else has come up. Another flat's come up in Camberwell. So hopefully, touch wood, something will happen with that, because I'm just too far away from my family and friends. You know, like I was just saying earlier, you know, for me to go and pop round a mate's house, it's 75 miles away, and it's too far. Me, I'm a friendly person. I always seem to make friends wherever I move to, but here I haven't for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm not involved in the drug scene or the crime thing anymore, you know, and you don't meet as many people, so it might just be that. But luckily, I've got loads of friends that are still around up in Sutton, so hopefully, you know, something will come of that. So I could probably do the second part of the story as well today, about the last video, wasn't it, about going to rehab and that. So where was I on the last one? Yeah. So around that time, weren't it, 96, like I said before, I've been away for a few years, and luckily I had friends out there that were coming and visiting me when I was in prison, and Wayne always used to sort me out, which was really good of him. And if he couldn't get up to the prison to visit me, he'd send someone else up, maybe mainly Chrissy, his partner at the time, And I don't know if a lot of you around Sutton must remember Chrissy Baker, or used to be called Chrissy Green, was with Mickey Green from East London, and then she moved over to Sutton in South London. And I remember, she was with Wayne for a few years, and they were great times in my life, but we'll go into that more in other stories. But I'm thinking about that because when I went to the rehab, I was only in there for 6 weeks, and what was that like? I mean, at the time, the rehab, I was 26. It was in Norwich, like I've said before, and basically the routine was you're all in these individual houses. During Monday to Friday, someone would come into the house, like a worker, and you'd have a little morning meeting, and then after that you'd go in a minibus to like this centre place where the rehab centre was, because you stayed in these individual houses at night. You'd go there, do therapy. It was like group therapy, and then you'd have some lunch, and then you'd do your chores, and then there'd be more therapy, and it was like that every day really. And then on Saturday or Sunday you was allowed to go to the snooker club 1 day a week and that sort of stuff, all supervised, you know what I mean? We did do one thing there. I was there for 6 weeks where we was collecting for charity, and we had to dress up as animals, get inside these suits, animal suits. Mine was a big shaggy dog, and yeah, you can see through the mouth. And I was collecting for charity, for some charity. I can't even remember what the charity was for the rehab. And I remember thinking, oh, I could just run off. Not that there'd be much money in there, you know what I mean? But I collected for the charity. It was really hot in them suits in the middle of summer, And what happened was I was there. The first 6 weeks was meant to be a probationary period. So after 6 weeks, I was having to go back to Croydon Crown Court to see Judge Pullinger again, because he was monitoring how I got on with it all. And so what happened was basically I went through probation to report and basically what I had to say was, to get out of this, I had to say, the rehab wasn't working for me, because for the whole 6 weeks I was there, I didn't use. I had a little drink a couple of times just to get my head down, because I was in a proper bad way from not sleeping. At that time I'd been using every day for about 10 years. And I mean, some of it was good. The swimming was okay. We used to do a bit of swimming, and playing football. That was all right. The sports stuff was all right. But, but in there you had a lot of people that were like hardcore rehabs. They'd been in so many rehabs. I used to think to myself, how do they ever be outside and have any time to get a habit if they're in the rehab for years and years? Do you know what I mean? So it seemed like some of the people in there were addicted to rehabs more than anything else. So basically what happened after the 6 weeks, the staff didn't want me back. They seemed to think I was some sort of subversive person, or because I wasn't getting involved in groups so much. And one of my bad problems with rehabs is when I first go in there off the street or from prison and I'm in withdrawal a little bit, all your emotions are coming back, and I can't stop laughing. Someone might be sitting around in a circle saying how they got raped and all these bad things, or how they used to have to sell themselves for a bit of brown or a bit of crack. And this could be a geezer, not just a woman, it's quite shocking. And me, not being disrespectful, I'd end up laughing because someone on the other side of the group, someone who I was palled up with, would be making a silly face, you know. So it's a little bit like being at school, you know, and giggling in the corner. So obviously I wasn't taking it seriously. I was just doing it to get out of prison. So yeah, when it come up for sentencing, the rehab recommended that I didn't go back there. They didn't want me back. So they said I would find somewhere else or alternative sentence in their mind. I don't know, you know, that's just how it was. So I had had the same probation officer, Katie Nutley. It's quite high up in probation now. I'd had the same probation officer for quite a few years, and I sat down with her and said, you know what, I really don't want to go back to prison. I tried my best at the rehab. I wasn't thrown out for using or anything like that. It just wasn't the right rehab, you know. And basically what she done, she got the sentence changed with her recommendation. She said I should finish off my license in the community with the Cranston project, you know. And basically I went to court and that's what they did. They put me, I done the license and I got I think it was a big supervision order for a couple of years or something, you know, and I finished that, you know. And yeah, and also after rehab, you know, I was with that, I'd been seeing that girl from when I've been coming out my home leaves, and she'd got pregnant, you know, and so I had cleaned myself up. But when I came out and I went to visit her at Roundshaw, she had still been using, you know, she'd been using all the way through her pregnancy. So she was taking heroin and crack, you know, which really upset me. That's just not what I'm into, all that, no. Even though I did take drugs, I'm not into the idea of women taking drugs while they're pregnant. I just don't agree with it. So she done all that, and I said, well, I thought you was going to try and clean yourself up and all that, but obviously she didn't, you know. And basically, you know, with all this going on, I ended up going back on the gear as well, you know. So that was that. But yeah, so what are we now? 12 minutes in. Look, there's loads more stories to come and that. I know I don't get a massive amount of views on YouTube. I used to when it first started. You know, I was getting thousands and thousands for the videos, but it's sort of gone down a bit now. So not making any money out of it yet. You know, never had nothing from YouTube yet. But you never know. Maybe in the future something will come of it. So yeah. Look, I'm going to get this uploaded. It's not much of a story today, but it's just to get me back into the swing of uploading stuff and that. And I just want to say, yeah, have a good weekend, guys. And I'll be back soon with some stories and stuff. Thanks a lot, guys. Cheers.